as a child, you may have recognized where you was treated like the big dummy. And no matter how much you tried to be accepted, to be embraced, to be respected as a child, you know, showing that you have good qualities, no matter how hard you tried to try to show that you want to be valued, it's just like none of that work. It's just like people wasn't studying you like that. And you wondering, why did you get the big dummy treatment? Even though you were a high achiever in some ways, you stood out in some ways, you did good things in some ways, but you were still treated like the big dummy. And this is even to the point of where when you've made that one mistake, they won't let you live it down, but the others, they get passes. The others, they like, okay, that's them, but you ain't get no pass. And they showed that to you in how they treated you. So why did it happen? It happened because when the devil recognizes who God is raising up to be that chosen one, he goes after that seed immediately. All right. I mean, that even happened with Jesus. When he was a baby, the devil used a king to come after the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords as a baby. Okay. So whenever the devil cannot take you out in the way that he wants to take you out, he's going to use the environment or the people closest to you to suppress your purpose by sowing bad seeds, by trying to have you feel that you're not good enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not smart enough, you're not intelligent enough, you're just not enough in so many different ways. And that's what the devil wants to get you to do, because once you recognize who you are, you're going to rise up in your purpose and you're going to shut down the kingdom of darkness. Okay, so that's why they gave you the business when you was growing up, chosen one. Now, at this point, as an adult, you realize it ain't really got a whole lot more different, especially if you have not separated yourself from these folks. They're still treating you like the big dummy. That means you still need to leave that environment. The reason why you were birthed into that environment, because you're actually supposed to be that light for that environment. You're supposed to save people out of that environment. Okay, so you got to come out from amongst them. You're not meant to stay with that family that you grew up with continually. So you separate so that you can develop, because they don't know no better. Some of them, they don't want to know better. Some of them, they choose to not to learn the ways of God. And they might just need a good model, role model, a good teacher, a good example. And you're that one for them. So you get separated to the point of where you start to develop and learn your purpose and do the things that they've never been able to do because of those generational curses. So you're the generational curse breaker, and you getting separated and developing on yourself is what's going to cause you to come back and help those out that have been stuck in darkness. Okay. And that's why you got treated like the big dummy, because the devil wanted to make sure that you do not enter into your purpose and destiny that God has carved out for you. The devil did not want you to walk into that calling, because once you realize who you are, you're going to start shutting down the lies, the things that have been fed to not just you, other people that have gone through the same thing, other chosen ones that don't realize they're chosen. Here's the thing too. When you're growing up as a chosen one, you don't know that you're a chosen one. You don't know that the devil is using everybody around you to suppress who you are. But God has grace with you to get you to the point where you're like, enough is enough. What you're going to have to start doing now is setting boundaries. Let them know, I don't want to do this family function. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. When you've had a history of them abusing your kindness, for instance. One of the reasons why I stopped doing a family function at one point, because years ago, one of them was delegating who bring what. And one of them told me to go buy the potato salad from Walmart and bring that over for Thanksgiving. And I did that. Did you know that they only opened that up just a little bit and ain't nobody hardly ate that potato salad? Now, even though it was cheap, it's just the principle of I was told to bring something that nobody was eating. Okay. And I felt disrespected by it. And so I decided in the future, if I cannot bring what I want to bring, I'm not I'm not taking orders from anybody to bring this. Okay. And that's just one way that you could set your boundaries. And some of them, they might be like, well, we ain't doing nothing with you no more anyway. That's fine. That's freedom for me. Okay. And that's how you have to look at it. Don't let them guilt you into doing things that you don't want. Okay. That's another thing you got to get past. Having them to guilt you into doing things that you don't want. Once you practice not caring about how they feel, eventually they're going to come to you a lot better. Even if they have the same ways about themselves, they're going to approach you carefully. The only thing is you got to be careful not to go back into the same habits that you did with them. If you stayed around too long, they get too comfortable and they start talking to you sideways out of their mouths. Now, if they don't change as a person, that's between them and God. You just pray for them. They can change. They can evolve. They can transform. But if they don't want that with God, that's between them and God. What you do, you continue to walk in your purpose. You continue to shine. Get out of those toxic environments. God has other people that will appreciate you and your gifts. And with the family that comes from you, that family that is the new legacy of you, they won't carry on that deep-rooted narcissism. They won't carry on those manipulative spirits. They won't carry on those bullying spirits. They won't carry on the things that you have encountered. And again, the devil want to keep you from a point of being able to shut down the things of darkness. Okay? That's why you got to get away from the family that you grew up with. And that's not forever. Okay? Ask God what to do for your particular situation, because I know there are some people, they have extreme situations where they may have to go no contact for a long time. It just depends. But I pray this message blesses you, and if it inspired you, subscribe for more.